Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now March 12th of 2025, and given that the Meghan Markle series With Love Meghan continues to serve as a ratings disaster, not just for Netflix, but also to the customers, to those that subscribe to the overall streaming service, that are leaving in droves. A lot of customers, a lot of subscribers are deciding to unsubscribe from their service, going to other platforms like HBO Max, Amazon, whatever it may be, to watch other forms of content out there. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So Meghan Markle, we know that she is on the damage control train as we speak. She is trying to desperately fix or clean up the entire mess that is With Love Meghan. Now, we already know that the press tour has been an utter disaster, not just for herself, but also for Netflix in general. I mean, CEO Greg Peters is having a very tough time handling the entire backlash. He even tried to warn the board of directors weeks and weeks, I'm talking months at this point, ahead of time, about how much of a disaster this show was really going to be. And like I've always said before, Meghan Markle continues to be that, typical, insufferable, self-absorbed, greedy, narcissistic individual that really just believes that there is an answer to everything as to why this actual show is really a success in hiding. Let's discuss. So what's interesting about all of this is that we already know that Meghan Markle is going to say whatever she has to say. She's going to do whatever she has to do to remain in the limelight, to remain in the spotlight, or what she considers to be as relevant, right? She wants to remain an actress in the film industry or whatever have you within the television business. But what's interesting about this is that with Netflix already in panic mode for their series With Love Meghan that is already a ratings disaster, one major development that is now active involves more to do with Meghan Markle herself and what she had to deliver yet again in response to the backlash of her series and its ratings. Meghan recently delivered the following during the promotion of her show. It's 2025 now, and I think it would be best for everyone to not pay any attention to critics and reviews, The world would be such a better place if you judged entertainment for yourselves. Whether it's movies or television, doesn't matter. I think that in my case, with my show and my partners at Netflix, it was truly unacceptable behavior coming from the critics that have no clue what the series is really all about. This is an educational program that I think every woman deserves and should see. We need to ignore all the reviews on social media that are obviously so one-sided, with some kind of ulterior motive that's going on there, because it's something I won't tolerate. When we were filming our series, I knew it was important that we had to make this for women, so of course you are going to attract that toxic male demographic that tries to also convince other women out there to fall into their beliefs, and I have seen that in some cases. What I find to be repulsive, though, are these reviews that claim they know what it means to film and create something like our show, which truly took a ton of my time out of my life, and I had to give up so many things to get the series finished. I refuse to accept that we are dealing with these displeased critics that fall into the majority, because we have a silent majority out there that is just afraid to reveal their opinions and themselves about our show. They are afraid of being ridiculed for trusting me publicly and what we actually had at Netflix and what we had to deliver. The silent majority, I think, needs to speak their mind to really show everyone how successful we truly are in this amazing product that really aims to change the world, especially for women in the household. Now guys, let me just stop here for one moment now. Basically, her answer to why there are no positive reviews for this series, why pretty much it's a negative wave that has come crashing down on Netflix, is because of a silent majority. That there's a silent majority of positive reviews out there, positive experiences for With Love Meghan, that do not want to actually put their opinion or their reviews out there in fear of being ridiculed. That's her explanation as to why this actual show is not working in her favor at all. And we already know one thing about this, is that we already know that Meghan Markle is dealing with a lot of bitterness as we speak, because a lot of studios are shooting her down one by one. We have a lot to discuss on that, by the way. Even our backup plan is just going south. We're talking about all these commercial studios that really were going to involve her in a lot of commercials like Capital One, Geico, Carnival Cruise Lines, Universal Studios for their theme parks, and that's just the beginning of those that declined her in the end. So this is interesting, the fact that she's kind of parroting what Leslie Headland said with the Acolyte series. You guys may recall that Star Wars series back in the summer of 2024 that failed miserably. There were literally like no good reviews for the most part, and she blamed the silent majority for not coming forward. Same exact thing here with Meghan Markle. It seems to be a very lazy, easy way to lie your way through that there are those out there loving the show, but they're just too afraid to actually opinionate themselves out there. But let's get into this further. She goes on to conclude, I can almost guarantee that this is why you are not seeing many positive comments and critics out there about what we had to deliver with this show. They are frightened over the loud, toxic community that can be very overwhelming to deal with, and I hope the silent majority comes out soon to really support us publicly to let everyone know, like, hey, we got this and we own this. We need that kind of support right now. We have it, they just aren't really vocal about it. We can't remain to be frightened over sexist and misogynists that try to bring down well and professional creatives that work on these amazing programs. Now again, she's going on to blame sexism and misogyny. I'm really getting tired of those words, aren't you? I mean, it seems like a thing that Rachel Zegler, Meghan Markle, Sunny Hostin just spews out every single day, to the point where it's really meaningless at this point when it comes to your argument. But again, I mean, it's interesting that they really are trying to damage control this thing. They're really trying to defend this show at all costs, and I'm sure that Netflix is freaking out. Now look, yes, they renewed to season 2, but it's not what you think. It's basically season 1.5 it's being spinned as a season 2, alright? They basically shot an overabundance of footage for the first one, to the point that it added up to a total of 16 episodes, and they so happened to say, let's just split it apart into 2 parts and call it a season 2. That's basically what they did, and it's a false way of saying that they are moving ahead with a second season. If they really were doing a second season, they would actually go by the reviews of this show, wait it out, film it in full, and then release it about a year, maybe a year and a half later. That's the proper way to do it. But I digress. She goes on to end, working on with Love Meghan with this experience was the experience of a lifetime, and I am so proud to announce that we will be moving ahead with a second season. There she goes. We have some very big surprises coming with that one, and I'm certain we will create some controversy, but sometimes that's a good thing. So again, she goes on to say that sometimes controversy is a good thing. Now, you can only imagine what she's alluding to there about what's going to be implanted in season 2. I'm sure it has to do with the politics that we talked about 2 days ago, and including Gavin Newsom as one of the guests. We all know that Gavin Newsom is trying to get on a lot of podcasts now. He's trying to attract to the younger demographic, people in like their late teens, their 20s, mid-20s. He's trying to get to that demographic right now, and it's not going to work, let's just face it. But that's what she's trying to do. She is dragging politics into the second, or as I like to call it, season 1.5. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this ongoing drama between Meghan Markle, the Netflix executives, and how they are spinning season 1.5 as an actual season 2 of the series. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.